Hey, welcome back to Marvel Live. Sorry, I got a burp there. We've been away for a couple of weeks. We left you off with the Canada Cup preview. We will have the recap of Canada Cup events on tonight's show, and also an exclusive inside look at how the tournament went with our Canada Cup correspondent Jonas Raidbot. He's in the call tonight. We've almost got a full cast tonight. I think we'll have a super full cast tonight. Persia might be sliding in at the last second. Tasif also running behind. Probably going to show up last second. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We might have the full first, or no, Jonas. You'll make our first 6-person full man team. So that would be sick if everybody can come in. I don't know. We might see her or not. We might see him or not. Like I said. But we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about a character that's another interesting spot in the meta, Trish. She's kind of unconventional, pushes the neutral in a special way, and we saw a lot of success out of K-Brad this weekend at Canada Cup with Trish, so we're going to talk about that and see maybe where the future goes for her. And we're also going to have a preview of Youmacon, which previously, as you guys know, was stripped, but now is going to be back with streams, back with pop bonuses. It's a huge community effort. So we'll be talking about Youmacon, and we'll also be talking about Guts 4, which is the New England area. This is my gesturing to the New England area, top right of the United States regional. So lots going on out there. So we'll talk about that. But first, I want to introduce everybody that we have on the cast tonight. First is Merkel. Thank you, sir, for coming back. It's great to have you, as always, my friend.
What's up, everyone? Great to be back. If anyone didn't know, got my gallbladder removed, and that was fun. So I've got cool scar.
Yeah, what was that like?
Incredibly painful and not fun.
Yeah, man, that looks horrible.
I don't recommend it for anyone that's
fighting against Spencer.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you survived your procedure and everything. Thank you for coming. Marcus, good to see you, man. Welcome back.
Hey.
That's, anything? You get any surgeries done while you're gone?
No. I'm gonna get Xbox Live back so then I can play Marvel online. So pretty soon I'll need to get this cancer removed.
Okay. All right. Well, good to have you back for another night. And Jonas, also feeling under the weather. He was at Canada Cup, so he's kind of not feeling his 100%, but he did agree to be on with us tonight. Thank you, Jonas, for coming on, my friend.
Thanks, guys, for having me, even though I'm halfway dead.
Halfway dead, but I like the hat. That's Maple Leafs.
This is the best hat ever. I've got this in Canada. If you can't see it, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto Maple
Canada
Leafs.
is amazing.
Okay, so we're gonna let's just jump right into it then. Our first topic of the night is, of course, Canada Cup. That was the it's probably one of our, I'd say, bigger major tournaments just in general for the scene. Huge, of course, for Canada. Canada's biggest tournament, and it did take place this Halloween weekend. Just really quickly, I'm going to rattle off the top 8 here before we jump into details of the event. Some good, some bad, somewhere in between. But first place, Chris G. Not terribly surprising. Chris G showed up to a tournament, and Ryan LV wasn't there, so he won. Second place was K Brad, who
is that how it works now?
I don't know. We'll talk about that. K Brad, man, he's like the loyal, like fervent warrior of Marvel right now. He's still excited about it on Twitter. He talks about it. You can tell he has fun playing it. Almost lost to I Heart Justice in pools. He was down 0-2 before he started climbing back with some pretty insane happy birthdays. So took that all the way through winners of pools, made it to second place. So congratulations to K-Brad. We'll be talking about one of his marquee characters, Trish, later on in the episode. Third place, SJ, who, with B out of the tournament, did not enter, which can we all agree is just whack. Can we all safely agree? Can we get an audible yes that's whack?
B,
Yes,
you're
whack.
a whack human being for not signing up for Marvel.
Okay, so
Did he have like a reason why? Like
I don't know, man. They always do. They always. Yeah, maybe. If he did have a legitimate reason, like he couldn't be there.
He plays Street Fighter though.
Yeah.
I mean, like Joker was there, and Joker signed up, and we never see him.
Yeah, I don't know. So I was kind of salty about that, but Kevin Ha, absolutely, go ahead, my friend. But with him out of the tournament, SJ, I would say probably the best player in Canada after B defended the turf, third place. That's pretty good. He lost to K-Brad in losers finals. That's the match that I was streaming before we started the episode tonight. And after that,
But he
fourth.
knocked out Justin. Though.
Yes, he did. Fourth place, Justin Wong. So
He was the only person to beat Justin.
yeah, he was because he DQ'd in the losers bracket. So Justin only lost to SJ. That's pretty interesting. But Kevin says I don't think Marvel had on-site registration. Well, anyways, that's kind of whack. But whatever. So he did beat Justin, fifth place. I Heart Justice, the man, still holding it down, still doing his thing. I respect that. Flux protests his Marvel play, thinks he's absolutely gross. In some ways, he's right, but he's pretty squarely focusing on BlazBlue now. So I'm prepared to give Flux a pass.
I'm not sure if you heard every single time he got on the mic, but he made top 8. And,
yeah, every single time. Which he's proud of, so I'm happy. He was not proud that he wanted to win the tournament, but whatever. Seventh place, Bottle of Mo and Ray Ray. Bottle of Mo, of course, the Spider-Man player. Spider-Man Doom. Am I correct? Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
After this weekend, he is the Spider-Man player.
Yes, and after
Yes, one more person on his hit list.
We'll get there, and then seventh place was Ray Ray. So I'm gonna just start with this. Let's start with the matches themselves. Trish G didn't have a lot of trouble in this tournament. I watched the top 8. He beat K-Brad pretty squarely. There was not a reset. I don't think he was necessarily pressured at any point in this bracket. Pretty good win for him. Pretty solid win. There seems like to be some, I don't know, maybe someone else doesn't see it this way, but like Big Name is winning heavy and Big Name is winning heavy, and then they clash, and then but one of them are going to win when they're there. Either it's Chris or it's Ryan, or Midwest it's Kevin, or I don't know. So even with Justin, fourth place, that's pretty telling of how he takes the game now, preparation-wise and performance-wise. So, I don't know. I wasn't super compelled by the top 8. I was even less compelled with the fact that they ran the losers bracket off stream. The first match.
I don't think there was a single Justin match on stream,
No,
was
there was none.
Everything was off.
D1.
I do want to give a shout out to Gabriel. Tried to even put G and Ray Ray off stream, and they told K-Brag, and he was like, no, that's a stream match. Put it on stream. So I want to shout out that man.
Yeah, hell
for
yeah.
fighting for us. Everyone go and give him some love on Twitter or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and he's very passionate about the game still, so shout out to that. But yeah, all of it was run off stream. So the first match, Ray Ray versus Justin, was off stream, which Justin won playing Virgil. But D1, actually, the Smash commentator D1 had hand cam footage of it, so that's how I saw the end of it or whatever. He was out there doing the hand cam. So shouts to D1, getting in the dirty, in the trenches, doing it for the scene. But yeah, I don't get that. Jonas, you had. First of all, wait a minute, Jonas. Let me talk about your pool match, because I said that Christy didn't have any trouble with anybody, but he did play Jonas in pools, and what was it, 3-1?
Yeah, you're looking at how to talk on.
Okay. It should have been what?
It should have been 3-0 my favor.
3-0 Jonas's favor. So what happened?
Have you ever seen someone drop 3 games in a row?
Okay, realistically, I think it should have been maybe 3-1 if you didn't start screwing up.
It was 3-1. It was 3-1.
Okay, so what happened? You choked. You got the jitters.
Okay. No, it wasn't even that. Okay.
It wasn't even good enough to get the jitters.
Yeah, I know, right? It's I dropped the happy birthday and then I got more again. I mean, this is the 3rd time it happens. I hate Chris G, dude. And he's after the match, he comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, man, you always get the hit. What's wrong with you?" I don't know.
The Akuma, you had the Akuma Tatsu and you blew it on the X Factor cancel.
I could have saved Canada.
You could have saved Canada. You absolutely could have saved Canada, but instead, Chris G did win. Looked very dominant, very solid. I mean, I had no complaints about his play, really. He's doing his thing. I don't really think these Canada Cup results, changed a lot of opinions about any player. I don't know. If anybody came away from it thinking, anything differently about anybody that was involved. But I will say that the Spider-Man money match, Broshadian versus Bottle of Mo, first to 10. What was it, 10-7?
I think so.
I think it was 10-7.
7, yeah.
Marcus, so for the rundown of the background of this real quick. The Spider-Man players want to play each other. Do we know how much it was for?
I don't know the dollar amount, but I know like a while ago on Reddit, each had posted like, "This is my player hit list," and it was all Spider-Man players. And basically, he wanted to go through show everybody that he's the best player. Fight all the Spider-Man players. So what few left of them there are. So.
Which is weird that they have such a vendetta. Yeah, there's such a weird vendetta inside against their own community. But you watched the first of 10, Marcus. I watched it as well. We both came to the same conclusion about Spider-Man players. They do not want to win. They do not care about winning, and they hit a lot of buttons, a tremendous amount of buttons. What did you take away from the first of 10 between Broshadian? Which, on the record, I like Broshadian's team a lot. I think Spider-Man May Cry is super sick.
Yeah.
What did you think about the match?
To me, it was less of a Spider-Man mirror, and more so which shell the other person, which shell was stronger, I guess. And I do feel like Broshadian just wasn't familiar with the Dorm Doom shell. It didn't seem like he knew how to fight Dormammu at all, and he was getting hit by a lot of plasma for no reason, that he shouldn't have got hit by at all. I think a lot of times EJ Mo, his Spider-Man won the point war, and what he would do is he'd get the first hit and then end up snapping to Virgil, and it was Dante Spider-Man that he had to fight after he killed Virgil. But it was just a lot of flailing. EJ dropped probably two to three combos per game.
Oh, it's bad. It's cringe. It's it makes my skin crawl. I don't know what it is about Spider-Man. Airborne does it too.
Yeah, dude, I respect EJ. He's a cool dude. Mad cool. I'm good friends, we're pretty cool. I respect him doing this, but he doesn't do optimal Spider-Man stuff. He doesn't do the web throw loops. And I remember a lot of Georgia when he lived here giving him a lot of crap for that. He still doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Welcome, Tasif, by the way. Welcome, Sif.
He didn't do any happy birthday combos. It just was a lot of times he was ending combos short, or it was just really weird thought process. But he ended up winning the set. So personally, for my money, I think Garrett is the best Spider-Man, hands down. I think that
for those who don't know, who is Garrett, by the way?
Garrett's the Filipino Spider-Man player that runs Spider-Man, Rocket Raccoon, Strange, I think in that order.
Yeah, that's
the team.
And I played him at Wednesday Night Fights 2 years ago, and he was legit. That was back when he was in California, and he's legit. And I would say I personally think Broshadian is a better Spider-Man player, but I think that he was unfamiliar in that matchup, and that's why he lost. And then I do think EJ is better than Giobron, though. But funny enough, he beat Giobron and Broshadian in big money matches, and I think his shell beats both of their team shells. Maybe not so much Dante Virgil, but he just the unfamiliarity and the lack of a horizontal protection for Spider-Man. It makes it really hard.
And he doesn't, especially when I think one of the strengths that Bottle of Mo has is he can counterpick so much harder, just assist so much harder than anyone else can. You can't really counterpick on Broshadian's team, but when you only have Jam Session or Rapid Slash against Doombeam, you're already crippled.
Yeah, he could have ran. I've seen him run missiles. I've seen him run rocks. I've seen him run just having that versatility is huge. So I agree with that. But I don't know, man. Spider-Man is being the best Spider-Man is being the best X-23.
I knew the X-23 punchline was coming before it even came out.
I can 100% guarantee that's 100% true.
Okay.
Being a better X-23 is better than being a
Hold on. Why? When you say that, Merkel, Justin said in the commentary, he was talking about it before, in the commentary of Bottle of Mo's first top 8 match. he said that there's only one way to play Spider-Man, and that's true. You have to build a point-heavy team based around Spider-Man. I mean, every single Spider-Man team we just talked is a variant of Spider-Man point. There's no, Spider-Man middle. There's definitely not Spider-Man anchor.
You're so wrong. What is wrong with
They're
you?
actually,
you're wrong. You're
they're
wrong.
actually,
What the hell?
Well, this is what I'm telling you. What Justin said. This is Justin's words. That's what I'm saying.
There was a
Yeah.
Spider-Man team, this dude in New York that ran.
Skin off or whatever.
Yes, he run
Yeah.
Max, Spider-Man Dante, and he
That's
would just
ridiculous.
basically run that ultimate. He would run like a guard break every time he killed. It was very similar to X-23. Not as good personally, but it
There's
was very.
some ways, and it's also I think it's much harder to execute. Like depending on your push block timings and stuff like that on the hypergrav super that is used to set up the guard break on incoming, it can kind of mess it up. It's very Marvel 2. It's
Dude,
basically it's very Marvel 2. It's very Marvel 2. It's like the exact same flowchart.
And that's a
like,
totally
similar
unique
amount of
way.
Decisions you have to make. It's very similar to how you have to deal with it. But regardless, you have mags given like a 300% sort of like idea. It's a lot. It's a lot like what Merkel kind of plays already. But you have Doom as well.
This dude used to go to I think he's from Long Island, and he used to go to what is it, Big Two? That's what.
Mm-hmm. Back in
Yeah.
the day, that's what it was
Back in
called.
the
Yeah,
day.
he did mad work.
There was a specific tournament where like he was knocking out people that he had no business knocking out. He was basically like he was a decent Magneto. He had a good Spider-Man, and his Dante was non-existent. His Dante was an assist, and he was beating people he had no business beating because of this guard break setup. That basically was like, oh, Max gets the hit, builds the bar,
It's a wrap.
and then it's.
And that's what, like, that was my original point was, Justin, I guess maybe exposing himself a little bit, but I was saying there's definitely, like, the theory of Spider-Man is the ultimate web throw, tech and things like that, and that's very similar to what I was going to say, X-23, which is Markel's character. Does anybody ever, like, I don't talk to many Spider-Man players besides Airborne, and he certainly has no interest in playing anything but Spider-Man Point. Do you think that if for some reason people move towards the setup tech, do you think Spider-Man would have a place, like a proper place? Do you think
he's too much work.
that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? Even still, like, is it really worth it? Like,
of the setup characters that you could run X-23. I guess will we count MODOK as a setup character? Does he count with like his
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, why not?
Jamming bomb, and then there's another at least between those and Frank West.
I would say Frank West.
I think those three characters are much stronger and much easier to land their setups than it is for Spider-Man.
But yeah.
Now the plus sides are that Spider-Man does have a TAC infinite. He does have an invincible DP into a combo, which I mean, like he's very similar to X-23 in a lot of ways. He's got more mobility. He's kind of like if Spencer and X-23 hooked up and gave birth to a spider baby. Like there's a lot of stuff going on there that all those characters kind of have together. He just doesn't really have, like, his confirms are really kind of wacky, and I don't think it's really the players. Like, I've tried to pick him up just for fun.
Dude, he's very finicky.
Like, yeah, his combos are like annoyingly tight.
Whenever you're trying to like convert off of like an air hit or something like that, the web throw that goes vertical that you kind of need to always have it hit for the combo to go forward. That is one of the most unforgiving confirms ever, because then you're just sitting there with this like web shooting up into the middle of nowhere, and then you get hit. Like I played Bottle of Mo plenty of times. Like that's my son. Like let me tell y'all. Like I brought him into the scene. All right, I played this dude plenty, and like You bring up absolute valid points. That dude's execution is not the greatest. Like Broshadian definitely has him in that category. His combo game, Broshadians I mean, is sick. EJ is not so much. But that is to say
he
that
also
like,
plays the team that lets him get away with it.
Yeah. And also he plays a team where he's playing like missiles and beam and rocks, and those are very hard assists for Spider-Man to confirm off of. There's not a lot of hits done for him to chase after and web throw into. So there are some problems. I'm not trying to like, maybe I am trying to give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit because that is my son. You know, I gotta be nice to him. And good shit, EJ. I love you. You know what I mean? Good stuff to make it top 8 for your first time. That's good. You know, but
yeah, it's definitely sick.
Yeah,
More Spider-Mans.
Yeah, but Yeah, Spider-Man's really hard to combo with. I tried to mess with that maybe like a little bit, and then as soon as I realized how hard it was, I'm like, nah, dude, I'll stick to dive kick.
I feel exactly the same way. I think Spider-Man's way too much work, but I've always been that, and Airborne, he keeps with it. They seem to really love it. I'm glad that EJ is confident enough that he can get in a plane and go to Canada Cup and play in international tournament and get top 8 with his stuff, and also throw down in a first to 10 on the cash, and then also squad up on someone else. So that's pretty tight.
One thing. Like, I don't know if Roshadian's gonna hear this or whatnot, but bro, you gotta stop helmbreakering on incoming.
Like, he loves it, dude.
Oh, dude, stop! Like, he's cost so many games in tournament in his money match, and someone like EJ, who's coming from Georgia, who is my son, like, let me tell you, you're gonna have your meaty straight, you're gonna have your mix-up straight on incoming. There is no room for that shit. All right. Just stop. You'll be way better for it. All right. Like, I like you. I think your Dante's not bad. Just stop the Helmbreaker and build some defense for God's sake.
Dude, it would be like meaty web throw, and then he'd call Dark Hole right underneath it, and then he would get in. I'm like, what was the mix-up?
What is the mix-up?
He literally got hit 4 of the 6 times DJ did that, and I was like, all right, so he still thinks he's playing Spider-Man because he's still hitting buttons. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Like, there's a certain time and place, but like, and that was a big thing that kind of took the gas out of my hype for the money match. Once I saw that like Roshadian's kind of free on defense, and like EJ's got some pretty clean setups. He may not have the best execution, but you can clearly see that he's very crafty on his resets, like, you know, picking back the momentum on a drop. Or whenever like it's dark hole on incoming and you don't have an air dash, best believe you're about to like take some stuff like triple overhead or empty low. It's scary. So yeah, if you're gonna come in and all you're thinking about is humbreakering against something that's layered, then no, you have no business trying to say you're best anything, because you're just gonna lose because you're not as good of a player as he is. Like,
hot. Woo! Sorry. Wow. Well,
I do think that's why he won.
That's true. That's true. What's that?
Fair, yeah, I do think that Roshadian is far and beyond one of the best Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
only Spider-Mans.
Right,
like,
and
he's like the Spider-Man tech monster that's like doing the super optimal stuff that no one else does, and mad respect there. But like, he has the same problem with like his Dante. He does like really hard stuff when he just needs simple confirm to kill, and then I don't know what his Virgil is. His Virgil's kind of whack. Like, I don't know how you have such good other characters and not a good Virgil. But
like, you know, this also showed in the other money match they've had, Geobron versus EJ, which was way hyper. That match was sick. But personally, I thought that Geobron's Spider-Man neutral actually outplayed EJ. He just didn't have an answer for Dormammu missiles, which I think gives Spider-Man a super hard time. Like, what is he supposed to do about purification and missiles? And him trying to teleport around. It's like, while Spider-Man's really pesky to catch, I don't think Spider-Man has any business trying to pin down Dormammu.
Wait, I got a question real quick. Because this is pretty interesting, and I think it's pretty relevant. He says, and this is from Dual Kevin, he says, can y'all agree that mirror matches don't prove who is the better person with that character?
Yeah.
Yes. 1,000%. Absolute 1,100%.
I think it proves who's a better player.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's what any match proves.
I don't think it really matters when it comes like tech monster versus a tournament player versus a neutral player. Like, I mean, there's so many variables that go into it that have nothing to do with character in a team-based game.
Yeah, like, I mean, honestly, like, if you want to be the best at your character, you got to be good at the game. If you're not good at the game, then sorry. You like what you want to think that how good you are, it doesn't really cut it in the real world. So
yeah, and I do agree that it shows who's the better player. That's what any first to 10 or whatever is, you know, it's designed to do. It doesn't matter if they're mirror matching or whatever, but it does prove he's better in the mirror match, which is important. I think also this conversation came up a ton when like Cosmos first beat Chris, like, oh, but he's beating him with his team, you know, he's better with the team, and it's
I think that's more indicative though, because it's the same exact team. We're comparing point character and very different shells. The matchups are very different.
Because I was gonna even bring up too when Flux beat Cloud at NEC.
Yup.
And it's like everybody considers Cloud the best Dante and best Zero, but then he lost to his own team. And I don't think people are going to dispute that he's the best with those characters. But on that day, Flux was the better player.
At that day, yeah.
Which I mean we spent a lot of time on this for Spider-Man First to 10 in 2016, but I love hearing about these high stakes money matches. Like hearing about like people throwing down cash for a first to 10 on like a character specialist match. That's sick. That's super sick. And it's
Speaking about that, I talked to Justin about the Cosmos money match.
oh, is that happening at all, or is that all myth?
Shit, I think I just screwed something up.
What? What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? What did you do? Is it happening?
Can you delete the footage?
No, it's.
I think he's going to say it's going to go down at that one tournament that you just got word about.
Oh.
Okay, we don't have to. No, let's just not.
Well.
Cut it.
It's
Okay.
gonna happen.
Okay. Yeah. So, just say it. Say it. What's gonna happen? You don't have to say where. You don't have to say where. So, proposed.
It'll happen in the next big Marvel tournament.
Okay, yeah. So proposed money match: Cosmos versus Justin, high stakes, at a future high-profile tournament for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I would look out for that. I think, I don't know. We're not going to speculate on it right now until we know that it's happening, but I do think it's pretty compelling.
I have insider information that it's gonna happen.
Stop it with the insider information. We'll save that insider information garbage for the garbage time at the end of the episode. But for now, do we have anything else for Canada Cup? Because I do have some interesting stuff I want to bring up. What's that?
Speaking of garbage, can we talk about can I just put something out real quick?
Yeah, put it out there.
Your team?
Oh, nasty!
Look who's talking though.
I know.
And my team's cute. Don't get onto my team.
Kyle's team is definitely way better than yours, Reed. Sorry.
Yo, we're talking about team, but can we?
We were talking about. You were about to talk about something until you got.
I'm gonna talk about something.
I like how everybody just immediately dogpiled Jonas when he opened his mouth. Go ahead, Jonas. Go ahead. Finish your statements.
I just wanna I don't wanna be negative and stuff, but why are you running a Marvel tournament half-assed? And I don't mean it. I don't mean that in I don't want to be insulting, but I felt kind of bad that the loser side of top 8 wasn't ran on stream. And
that's kind of whack.
There was more than enough time to run that. There was I don't know what's up. You guys ran 2 pools in 2 hours. That's really you ran 4 pools in 2.5 hours. That's a really good time.
Yeah.
But why are you rushing Marvel? That is the only time we had to play. Once the tournament ended at 3 or 2:30, I don't even remember. They just took all the setups. That was our time, and it was rushed. I kind of if you're gonna host us, don't make us feel left out. That's
it's probably tournament organizers panicking over mismanaged resources, and they just wanted to pull all they just wanted to create space for the main gym of that tournament, which was Street Fighter V. And granted, Street Fighter V was sick at that tournament from a spectator's perspective. They seemed to get a lot of that right. It was really hype, but that tends to happen when there's a lot of focus on one thing.
I mean,
I'm not excusing it. I'm not excusing it. You're right.
It was just look, looking back at the schedule. We have Marvel. It ended at 3, and then it was Street Fighter V top 16 to top 8 at the same time as Guilty Gear top 8, at the same time as Super Turbo top 8, at the same time as Melee top 16 to top 8, at the same time as Smash 4 top 64 to top 8. But then the next day we essentially got a really convoluted schedule. I understand the reasons. Marvel maybe is not the hottest game right now, but I want to say is don't push us out, because we're here. We came out. Onion itself, Aeonian Alex, he paid for a room just for people to go, just to play Marvel, and it kind of sucks that he did that, and the tournament was just super rushed. and I don't know. I'm kind of butthurt about that, you know.
I get it. No,
I love-
especially if
I
like you
love-
have a community, like really.
Yeah, I
putting
love
forth the effort.
Canada. I love Canada Cup. It was awesome. It's a great event, but I just feel like everything that was not Smash or Street Fighter got a huge fuck you to the face. I'm sorry for like cursing on this thing, but it's true. We, as a tournament organizer, you kind of have the responsibility to give everyone their own time to shine. But it's like, just if we're coming out and we're showing up, you know, don't push us out. You know, that's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
That was not a. Go ahead, Mark. What were we gonna say, Marco?
I was gonna say like this is kind of the same stuff that we've seen like BlazBlue and Guilty Gear players saying much longer. So it's our time for that kind of stuff. And I think that what's really cool is that I mean the Marvel community is still playing. It's just not out in the limelight. Like there's still lots of people doing online matches, online tournaments, and unfortunately, I mean I think that's we have to accept that that's kind of what it is until something changes.
It's a bummer, but like one of the things I will say is like usually with the more traditional anime games, they get replaced by a newer game. Like, there's not the case with Marvel. There's nothing that will replace Marvel in the near future, anyways. But that's like a bummer. And I've never I've been going to tournaments for a long time, and I've never heard of only half of the top 8 getting streamed. That seems kind of
Especially
especially with the caliber of
small
matches.
in the small bracket too. Like they had time for it. I don't know.
Yeah, like they literally probably they cut out like 3 or 4 matches by not running losers. But it was like, how did Justin Wong get out of the tournament? You know, like we don't know. You know,
We don't know.
It's not,
We really
it's not
don't.
just that. It's not just that. Anyone that knows me knows I am super like OCD about brackets. And how are you gonna have I Heart Justice and Onion in the same pool? You know, how are you gonna have Chris G and Ray Ray in the same pool? And there was like more than enough room for them. There was a guy named Gray and myself in the same pool. I know that's like funny. Oh, you have Bottle Mo and Brochadian on the same pool. What are you trying to prove? They're already playing a
Yeah,
money match.
yeah, that was funny that they were in the same pool. Shout out to Justin who just joined in to the chat, and I will say that your complaints were echoed by some other scenes. The Guilty Gear guys were not happy, but you know we talked about that. You know, whenever Street Fighter and Smash were going to kind of hit critical mass, there was going to be a pretty fine divide.
Yeah, and
You
look,
know,
it's like
that just has to
don't
happen.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Canada was sick. I loved the community. I loved the tournament itself. It ran great. You know, there was no delays. The tournament itself was great. It's just that, you know, that's whatever.
I definitely have a big issue with like I don't mind us being a one-day game, but leave us the casual space. Like run our tournament and be done with us, but let us play casuals for the other day. Like that's what we came and we paid for.
There were no casual stations for Marvel after Marvel was over, which was 3 p.m. Saturday. So, and me and Onion, we were playing in his room, but those were
That was super sus. I did not know that. So they cleared out casuals after the tournament ended.
Yeah, they
Wow.
switched them for Marvel 2. If I
Dang.
recall correctly, yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
is sick.
Well,
Damn.
I mean, that's not the first major that's done that this year. Like,
On
you know.
Xbox, though.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like final round had the same issue. We couldn't
Yeah,
get casuals
exactly.
and-
That's a
So-
much bigger Marvel tournament.
Well-
It's just kind of like upsetting or like kind of makes us salty because it's like earlier this year, Lapchi was saying like, "Hey, we're thinking about having a Canada Cup Master Series for Marvel."
yeah, it was such a fall far.
And then it's like going from there where it's like, hey, this guy actually is going to support Marvel and have a huge pop bonus and invite all these top players to like, we're not even going to stream all of top 8 and we're not going to have casuals for your game, so whatever.
And it's like, on top of that, like, the community showed up. Yeah, there were 42, but it's still pretty good for a region like Canada that's not like the most active Marvel scene. Like a lot of people came out for Marvel, you know? And
Yeah.
it's
That's
not
frustrating.
bad considering I think SCR had 64, you know? And this is a little trend that I've been like kind of noticing, and I know it kind of echoes the Guilty Gear community, but all throughout this year, TOs are kind of like pushing other games away in favor for the big stuff, which I don't really blame them because yeah, money is an issue. You need to run a successful tournament, but I don't see how you can't pander to the bigger communities while still supporting the smaller communities. I mean, I'm gonna put people on blast. I mean,
I, I think that's
Marvel was like in a corner in like at like CEO, and like Alex Valle didn't want to put Marvel at the start of SCR, even though there was space at the end of the day. You guys, if more than like 8 people, 16 people sign up for your tournament, just give them a space to play. At least leave one setup, because are you just gonna store those setups like storage room and like just forget about it? The game is still here. We still want to play. Just let us play.
Yeah, that's a challenge that TOs are going to have to confront pretty square on the nose as they go forward. Like, what do you do? Because traditionally, yeah, we are unlike any other esport. Well, like if you go to like a league tournament, or a Hearthstone tournament, you're not going to see 8 different games, like that all have their own priority, and like how do you accommodate logistics for them. So are we going to see, as Smash and Street Fighter numbers hit a critical mass, are we going to see like their ability, the TO's ability to catch up and accommodate multiple games like that? I don't know. That's going to be pretty tough to tell. But I don't think Lapchi, he doesn't have it out for Marvel. Like, I definitely don't think that. I think,
No, it's not.
yeah, exactly. So nobody's out there trying to ruin anime or like
But
trying
it's
to
not
ruin
the
Marvel.
point, though. It's
No.
like just because your intent isn't bad doesn't mean bad things aren't happening.
No, I agree absolutely, and I think it's a problem. But I mean, at the same time, like we knew it was coming, so it's like roll with the punches.
It's just a trend that I would like for it not to continue.
And the only
Easier
way,
said
I
than
mean,
done.
the only way that it has any chance of not continuing is if we're vocal about it. So, I mean, make sure hit whatever social media you can. If you talk to your TOs, like make sure they know, like try and help show that, I mean, the scene's still here and we're still playing.
And bring setups, because I mean, they may not have 360s to provide for us if we're building a game on 360. So just ask for the space, and we can provide the setups too.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to be self-sufficient sometimes, and like we can't expect everything to be done for us. But as long as we have the space, we'll play. We'll play wherever. We'll play on the Brooklyn Bridge. And like Times Square.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you bring up a very good point, because in my experience, like they're way more willing to be reasonable for you if you're willing to provide a setup. Like 100%.
I feel like in that sense, that's kind of more up to the local community. But I kind of searched everywhere for a setup because our friends left like Sunday morning, so we were without a setup. We were just looking desperately for one, and there were a bunch of setup for other games, and like it's not our fault or their fault. It's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge going forward. I mean, we've got a bunch already, and we've kind of got through some of them, and we're still struggling with some of them. I still think people like the game, and they're gonna like seeing it. I'm confident that Larry and Lapchi, guys are gonna figure out a way to do it. I don't think anybody's gonna be left behind. Hopefully, that situation gets avoided in the future. But I'm glad we're talking about it. I'm glad other people are talking about it. That's why we should, because TOs will hear it.
I don't mind going full multiplayer and playing grand finals in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I just want to play.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it does feel nice to feel rewarded by the TO when you spend a lot of money to go. So yeah, absolutely. But otherwise, Canada Cup was pretty okay. I thought it was fine. Do we have anything else that we want to cover for Canada Cup? Otherwise, we're gonna quickly.
Maybe you need it.
Rip.
Why does that happen? That's so strange. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
that's super strange.
And it always comes through the recording too. It's just y'all for some reason you can't hear it. But yeah. So any other specific Canada Cup things you want to hit before we jump on Youmacon and Guts? We're gonna go.
Canada was awesome though. Canada was awesome. I loved it. I want to go back.
Twitter was raving about it. I saw a lot of pictures. Looks like everybody had fun, and the event was a success. So it's always good to have more tournaments, and it's always good to hold them accountable and try to make them better. So no shade, Lapchi. Well done, my friend. But I do want to pass on the attention to some upcoming events. One that is happening this weekend. Has anybody else ever been to Youmacon? Is it just me? It's just me, isn't it?
It's just you, dude. I wish I went. It seems hella fun.
Okay, yeah, Youmacon's insane. Like the event itself, like I don't like anime, I hate it.
Anime conventions are still like fun,
Dude.
like places to be at. Yeah.
They are unabashed about their
Yeah.
obsessions with anime. Like, and I think it's like the third biggest anime con in America. They they post banners, you know, like, oh, we're such and such huge con or whatever. I don't know what it is, but there's thousands of people that come out, and the event is crazy. If you can come, they're gonna have registration up to the door. The story with the fighting game tournaments at Youmacon this year, traditionally, was doing very well. The tournament was growing and growing and growing. It was a great Midwest venue, great Midwest tournament in Detroit. And then, like last year, we had record numbers for tournament entry. And then this year, they were like, we're pulling all the funding for the tournaments. And they basically canceled the tournaments. And then after that, the community, the local Michigan guys, came together. Now there's pop bonuses. There's pop bonus for Marvel, $100 pop bonus for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think the tournament might literally be me versus Andre, but one of us is gonna get $100, and that's sick. It's gonna be on.
It's like a first to 6 for 100, right? That's not
Right, exactly. Yeah, and
Nice.
yeah. So I mean, like, no, there's gonna be other guys, of course. The Michigan has a small scene still, and some other local. I don't know if anybody, Kevin, or if anybody else is in the chat from Midwest, if you know anybody's going, but I'll be there, and it'll be on twitch.tv/ and I'll put this in the description of the video after this. Jason Walraven. Good luck remembering that off the top of the head. Jason is spelled JASIN WALRAVEN. This Saturday, 4 p.m. The Marvel tournament will be going down at Youmacon. The badge is mad expensive. It's like $65. So, and you have to have the badge to get in.
I hate that. Like, I think that's the worst.
It's a big deterrent.
Yeah, like there's a lot of places where like people are putting in a lot of work trying to, but like you gotta have some way that you can just let people come for the tournament and not have to pay the weekend fee or the 1 day fee on a.
We had the
on a
same
con.
exact issue. I don't know if Justin's still here, but in the chat, but he came to Kentucky to FanFest, and Justin, Noel, K-Brad, like they were all in Louisville, Kentucky for a Marvel and Street Fighter, and it was going to be sick, like such a huge come up from the Midwest. Everybody was hyped, but you had to pay an $80 fee to get into the con.
What?
$80. So 11 people showed up. 11 people. We had EG in the bluegrass, and he says they didn't pay him still. Kentucky sucks. That's the impression now that the con is leaving on Justin Wong. Kentucky sucks and they didn't pay him. But we did hit Justin. We had a sick time on 4th Street. So we did go out and we partied really hard that night. But yeah, that sucks. Like a ton of people would have came out if it was just like a normal thing. And I went there. I went to the tournament. At no point did you need to go get a badge to go to that tournament. They were, and it was a completely separate building. Separate building, no check-ins, no badge check-ins, no nothing. I literally walked up, paid my $10 to register for a bracelet, and played. And we had that right there in front of us in 2014, and 2014, and then nothing to do with it. So unfortunately, that is a reality of Youmacon this year. But I do encourage you, if you're close, to still come. It's going to be a blast. The other tournament we're gonna quickly run over here is Guts 4. I'm hearing your keyboard, bud.
Sorry.
Yeah, Tosif. Yeah, I'm using your full name, Sif. Guts 4, that's the Connecticut New England region tournament. That will be the following weekend, 11/11 through 11/13. I don't know who it's going to be streamed on, whether it's going to be Arturo via Team Spooky, or if it's going to be Bifu, or if it's going to be Kick Punch Block, because they're all going to be there. Has anybody ever been to Guts? I've never been to Guts. I know Nerd Josh goes every year, and I follow him, and I watch it every year. The tournament's super fun.
Yeah, the tournament's sick.
I've
I've
never
watched
made
it,
it
but
up
never
there.
been.
I like regionals a lot. I like regionals a whole lot. I really like watching regional tournaments, regional competition. I don't know if anybody from the Midwest is going to make it out. There's what Marcus? How many dollars in pop bonuses and how many
It's
going?
like $2,600 in pop bonus. Nothing for Marvel, but it's like I think it's 5 games have a $500 pop bonus, and then DOA has like a $100 pop bonus.
Well,
like,
good for DOA.
Usually it's like the New England guys. Like you'll see a lot of New York there. And usually a lot of times too we see like I'm not saying in a bad way, but the lesser known or like New York guys that travel out. So we usually see like Dragon God come out, a Random Fiend, and
Fublat.
Joe, Fublat, Ram Bam will be there. So there would be one of your guys' one of the our MVC3 posters. So
I guess
it should be a good tournament.
I guess Yipes is gonna be there. I hope he plays. That would be interesting. What's up, Markle?
Just real quick, for anyone that hasn't seen recently, Ram Bam has been going in super hard on tutorial videos and commentary stuff. So like really strong content since he's switched off of X23. Go figure. But if you go check him out on you can find his stuff easy enough on the Reddit or I think it's like Ram Bam 16 or Ram Bam something. I don't know the number on the end on YouTube. But he's been putting a lot of work into really strong content. So shout
outs to everybody who's on that on that grind. What's up, Steve? What's up?
No, I was gonna say that like if you're gonna watch any video, at least watch the video he has on defensive assist calling, because that's probably one of the most basic tenets of Marvel.
That's good.
That kind of goes over people's heads, and he actually explains it pretty well. I'm really glad he made that video. It was a concept that I kind of taught him, and then it kind of blew his mind. And then he made a video on it and did a really good job with it. So like, huge shout out to Ram. That dude's definitely like all about the Marvel in like the best way possible.
Yeah, and we need those. We need those guys who are all about content and like making it happen. So shout outs to him, and I'm looking forward to Guts. I'm gonna be off that weekend, so I'm gonna watch every second of it. And they're gonna stream Marvel because they always do. So glad to be back. And but yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say because we don't have a lot of details right now, unfortunately. But I do like to stop and always point attention to the tournaments that are coming up. Keep the eyes moving. Get the streams out there so you guys know where to watch, because it does get a little tough to watch. You know, we're bouncing between streamers so much now. Also, I'll go ahead and let you guys know now that we will not be having another show this November. We'll have just this show tonight, and then we're going to take a break for the holidays. So we'll be back December, and December is going to be pretty hype. So we've got a lot to talk about for December. Big
also,
stuff.
While we're talking about not the 5th, but the weekend of the 12th, Gwinnett Brawl is going to be happening there. And as far as I know, it's still going to be a pretty big, essentially like a Southeast regional. I haven't heard of any of the people that are talking about coming out canceling, but I know that there was Static Alpha was talking about coming out. North Florida is coming up. Wandles and I are supposed to be going over, so it should be.
Will that include full schedule? Because I know like Mix Up and Korean Dan were talking about going. Will that include full schedule?
I don't know if that. I don't think it actually does. But from what I've heard, barring like an environmental disaster upon their journey over there, they're gonna be there. And we're like Mix Up, Schultz, Korean Dan, Chris Rivera, like all those dudes. It'll be a really sick event.
So definitely.
I don't.
That'll just be on Gwinnett Brawl, like their normal stream for them.
I don't know who's going to be going from Kentucky. I don't know if Static's going or if I'm going to go with them, or I don't know. But I don't know. I could have time to go, so that might be kind of sick.
Yo, do it. That'll be sick.
Get your run back.
Yeah, right. Come see me at Marvel. I need to make another Sarah McLachlan.
Dude, best believe someone else will be coming for you, buddy. For you, dude.
Oh, you're right.
Vix will be so hyped. You better be dunking, dude.
Nah, who cares at this point? Literally, like I could sit down and it could be grand finals. It could be grand finals with Mike Mix-Up. I could get clobbered 6-0 from winner's side, and I would. Who cares? Like I don't care anymore.
I mean, he'll care.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you'll care.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely will be fun. No, I want to see that run back because it's just like funny.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
The sloppiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Nasty. Me and Elgot, we still talk about Elgot all the time because it's mad comedy. But that's just like, it's funny. Like it's like one of those things that's like comedy. Like it's like CJ Showstopper falling asleep in a crowd. Kinder Party Beats Mix Up. Like it's hilarious. And the nature in which it was done, like how bad it and it was the big, build up, we've been there. So very funny. Yeah. I would like to play him again. Yeah, sure, why not? It would be a blast. I would love to play Street Fighter 5 with Georgia because I know I saw Dap posting about it. He's been playing a lot more. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. We all have. So
That guy.
yeah, yeah. What happened to him? He literally just shut off on Marvel and moved over, huh?
Yeah,
He's over.
He came over to Kansas, and I paid for his entry into our weekly, and then he ended up beating me in losers finals.
What? He plays Cammy, right?
Yeah, man.
I taught him a good bit, so I'm sorry.
I like how Angelic said Mix-Up was a train that got stopped by a marshmallow speed bump. Hey, Titanic was the unsinkable ship, and it sank bad. So it does happen. Well, I do want to bring something up though. While we've got the attention, while we just did these local tournaments, it's a question that we kick around every now and then, and I do like to come back to it. And it's been a little while since we revisited it, and I do remember that we were pretty fondly. Some of us favor the Midwest, some of us favor Cali, but let's just check in. What do you think is the strongest region in Marvel right now? Could you put a finger on it? Could anybody decidedly say
SoCal.
firm SoCal? Firm SoCal from Tassif. All right, hold on.
Ooh.
Okay, firm SoCal from Tassif. Merkel, do you have an opinion? What's that?
New York or SoCal. at this
New
point.
York or SoCal? Okay. Marcus, what do you think?
I remember last time I said New York, and I know Kyle last time said North Florida, but I'm changing my answer to SoCal as well.
SoCal. Okay. Jonas, is it Puerto Rico? No. What's the best region in Marvel?
I really have to answer.
Yo,
Yeah. No idea. You can't even see. I don't think I could.
See, you put on the hat and then you like turn into a merc.
I have an honorable mention though.
What's that?
I think it's the first time people really consider it. Vegas
Vegas?
or like Arizona.
Well,
Arizona.
yeah. Okay.
Southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest. Angelic.
I would
Ryan
go
OV.
Southwest over SoCal. If I didn't want to say Las Vegas, but if we say Southwest, I would throw them in over SoCal.
So if there was a Southwest versus SoCal matchup, say 3v3, you think that deep enough?
What would that team be? That'd be I heard Justice, Angelic, and
Ryan? Ooh, that's a.
Yeah, versus like Cloud, Chris, and.
Wow, that's such a mirror of lifestyles. You have Priest, who's playing like absurdly optimal Magneto MODOK Doom. You have Chris, who's playing arguably the best team in the game. You have Cloud playing arguably the best team in the game. And then you have a Shuma, a Chun, and what was the other one?
I heard Justice.
I heard Justice. Okay,
Right.
pick one, and they're all,
Honestly, like, isn't that like what we want to see? The good guys versus the bad guys.
Is
Let's be real.
it?
That's it.
Not really, like, cause
From this region?
I don't want to see like. There's been all this cool stuff from.
Is it a
these,
clobbering, Kyle, if SoCal
their
plays in
specialists,
Southwest?
and it's like yeah, and they've got all this momentum, and then like people come in with good teams again and just wipe the floor, and it's like, oh well, all right.
You don't think
I mean-
you don't think they could do it? Angelic has beat Chris before.
Dude,
He's beat.
That's what I'm saying. Angelic is super scary on a good day.
Yeah.
Angelic can beat anybody on a good day. Because if he's having
yeah.
a good day, Chase Star, the other person might have like a mediocre day or just like an average day, and he will just go way faster than you, and you don't know what to do with Shuma Bean because he's like the only dude who plays.
Ryan LV also
And Ryan LV.
like
Ryan LV.
solid, and then you have I heard Justice, who's
I
like
think they're the only people. They're the only people that are actually like still putting time into the game.
yeah, but
honestly.
that's 3v3. That's a 3v3.
I will say though that like SoCal has probably the only person that counters Ryan LV in like the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well they've got Cloud, which is the Ryan killer.
Yeah.
But I just want to say too. Somebody said that or do we always just underrate Florida or we overlook Florida? And Kyle is like your guys' biggest cheerleader, but like you guys don't travel outside of the state, so it's kind of hard to get a proper gauge on who is still playing from Florida, who it isn't.
Florida is like Flocker.
But I mean, if we only see them play.
There's a difference between playing and like competing and traveling.
Yeah.
That's what they really mean by
yeah.
them trying to play. Like who's playing is like who's competing, who's like still like.
What I want to get at is like, are they really the best region? I mean,
Like it's kind of
if I had to put money on it, look, Wednesday night fights, SoCal, they play every week. I'm pretty sure they're the strongest,
Yeah, I don't know
G.
about Florida, man. Like, what's your opinion on Florida, Jonas? Like, how do you think they are now in 2016 Florida?
Oh wait, okay. You can't just. I don't think you can say. Florida. You either have to say South Florida and North. The regions are. That's a 10-hour.
Can you even split them? Like, at this point, like, can we?
It's like I mean, it's an 8-hour drive.
The
They're not
Florida
the same
that I
scene.
know, the Florida that I know is like
That's NorCal,
Tampa to
SoCal.
Miami.
Yeah, but
Tampa to Miami. That's Florida for me.
can they
Right,
field
that's
six
South
players?
Florida.
Can they field 6 players like confidently that you think it'd stand up to like a Southwest?
I don't want to say much. I don't want to say much because they're all my friends. But
Man,
they have.
when is Sam gonna get here? I need.
Yeah,
I need
what
someone
what
to-
the heck? Where's Sam at? Like nobody's here to bump for New York besides Merkel, I guess. And
they have this really big problem that they're like the option selects masters. You know, it's like it's so annoying. Like, oh, I don't even play this game anymore. Yes, you do. Just because you haven't played in like a month doesn't mean you don't play this game anymore. You know, and it's like they're really strong. They're really strong. Let's
I
talk
don't know,
about.
it's
Let's
really
talk
hard
about
to forget
Shazam.
how to
Let's
play
talk about
Marvel.
Shazam. Yo, let's talk about Shazam. He got top 8. He got 5th as CEO. That was like.
what about Midwest? What about Midwest? What about Kevin?
Really good.
What about
Yeah,
Kevin?
It's really good.
Like,
Joey
that's the thing,
D.
Like Midwest is out and traveling, and I'm not taking anything away from Florida because, like
Right.
you, I'm friends with Florida, North Florida, and South Florida.
I like Florida over Midwest.
I mean,
Really?
think that
Really?
think right now, I like Florida. They're
If
my
you put-
friends, but like
if
those
you put
guys don't
Florida-
travel. They don't travel.
If you put Florida, if you put Base 7, Neokarch, and Flocker against Blookhaven,
Joey D.
Joey D, and like
Eli? Yeah, I like Midwest
Eli?
way. I like Eli.
What?
You can put
That's what I'm
Static
saying.
Alpha
You gotta-
and Eli. Static
You
Yeah,
Alpha.
can't
Static
tell.
Alpha.
Hold on.
Static
Hold on,
Alpha
y'all
definitely
have
goes on
sinned.
that team. Static Alpha
Y'all
definitely
have
goes on that.
sinned. You can't mention Florida without Marvelo. Nuh-uh.
It's
he's not.
He doesn't play. He doesn't
I
play.
don't
wanna
care.
play.
Yo, when he doesn't play, he still wins freaking tournaments at their, at their regionals. He's
What was
done that.
that?
Matter. He's,
Yeah, I
he's
know that,
fundamentally like better than a lot of the people that still play.
but he's not even in the conversation anymore. That's how much he option selects it. You know.
True. No,
Yeah,
I mean I'll
that's
give
the
you that.
thing, like,
He's got
But-
different priorities. I see that.
That's still fine, but like I would still take Midwest.
Yeah, even if Marvelo was on the team, like if Static is allowed on Team Midwest, gross. Static, Joey, and Kevin. Who
exactly.
who countrywide is going to beat those three?
I
I like it. Give me. Where's my wallet now? I will take. DM me. DM me. DM me.
Chris G's.
Joey D can beat Chris. Joey D can beat Chris. Kevin can beat Chris. Kevin can beat Chris.
Kevin could.
I don't know if
But
Static can beat Chris. I don't know about that. I don't know if
Shout
Static
outs
can
to
beat Chris.
Dual Kevin. He in the chat. He just said, "Put me against the entirety of Florida. I don't care."
See? That's nasty. That's nasty.
We just finish this off. We just want to finish this off. If we brought in New York, I think New York is very similar to Florida.
Yeah.
Ray is the only one really traveling for them. Flux travels, but he's not. Marvel's not his focus. Like he's
Neither
still.
Neither is Stray Race. That's not his focus.
I mean, you're right. But I think that
He's going by what he knows already, but he doesn't really care about doing good. He wants to be a Street Fighter player.
No, that's
But,
not.
I mean,
no,
he-
no.
Right
He's
now,
a
the New
fighting
York
game
scene-
player, and he always wants to do well because that's what it takes.
Right now, the
who
New York
in
scene-
New York?
the
Who
New
would
York
you
scene
put
right
on
now-
New York then? Who would be?
Yo,
New York's top three?
I went to New
That's a
New York.
good. That's a good question. Who would be top 3 on Team New York?
I went to New York last week, right? And I went to Match Fest. The only players that you see there are the same players that you see just posting on the House of Crack Facebook group. The New York scene right now is No Life, it's Ethan,
Prodigy,
Escalante, Prodigy,
Cosmos.
Crazy Joe, Cosmos. Those are the new guys. I mean, we can't really like. Ray is traveling. He's really good, but right now I feel like the New York scene. Look at No Life. He's going to money match K-Brad. He's money matching like Noel Brown and all.
For
those
500
guys. He's
smacks
hella
too.
hungry.
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Yeah, dude. Like fucking Escalante. Like they may not be the best players, but they're the hungriest players, and that for me is way better than just riding off of what you know. Like as long as you have the hunger, I think the hungriest region is like that's what's
Mm.
most important.
Old Base 7 says He says NY is mad overrated. No one but Ray has gotten better in a long time.
That's crazy.
And let's-
because that's completely
hold on.
overlooking
Hold
Cosmos
on.
and Punisher.
He
and
said
No Life.
he said and no one but Ray has gotten better in a long time, unless you count people going to mid tier like No Life.
So like,
So
what is Cosmos and Punisher then?
I don't know.
I
don't
mean,
know.
look, there's this meme in Florida that New York is bad, but they don't travel to show it. So
Yeah,
Well,
that's
but
a
whenever the chips are on the table and Florida had to play New York in a regional, Florida has won every time.
once,
However many times,
Final round?
I just know that it's happened and they've always won.
This
turn
Punisher.
around like that
As a-
one.
As a region, they've done the best in team tournaments too. Or like one of the best. Like they always
Okay.
end up getting top 2.
All right. So
That's in the past when regionals were a big deal. I'm just bringing up.
this
that.
wasn't on our official schedule, but I would like to say.
I just want to talk about this. Let's name our top 3 and then go.
Yeah, I just want to say like this conversation is obviously still more alive than ever, so that's kind of crazy. But
Yeah.
so let's do a top 3 then of everybody's top 3 regions. I'm gonna say number 1, Midwest. Number 2, Southwest. Number 3, SoCal. What do you think, Tasif?
SoCal, I said is the best, so I'll stick to that. Then I'd probably put like New York, and then I'd put I don't know.
Really?
I guess like I'm still undecided about like Southwest as a region because I don't think they really like commiserate with one another like super often, and that's why I think is like important for a region to have. Like there's no Southwest. I guess you could say undefeated might be Southwest regional, but it's only happened once. But yeah,
No, undefeated has happened at least twice because I think
twice.
Ryan,
That's right. Yeah, twice.
Chris
twice.
won last year, and then the year before I think was KBR.
All right, so we've got 2 out of
I got
Tasif.
this.
Well, okay, Marcus, you break it down since you're ready and I was ready.
Well, if Angelic in the chat says that they're sister scenes, then yeah, I'll go ahead and say Southwest. Sure.
Okay, all right, go ahead,
For
Marcus.
me, it's Southwest, then it's SoCal, then it's Midwest.
Okay, so Midwest breaks 2 top 3s. Merkel, what do you think, bud? I know this is tough for you, man. I know this is super hard. You got to pick 3.
If we're talking full scenes, I'm gonna say.
This is the scenes right now.
In no
Right
order.
now.
In no order.
Okay, I'll take it.
So SoCal, New York, and Midwest.
All right.
I don't know where
okay.
they're
Yo, and can I just say, like the new breed of Midwest players, good stuff to y'all.
I'm saying.
because, like y'all brought that scene from the dead. That was the most.
It was
trash,
a joke.
in
Yeah,
Marvel,
yeah.
Like they were the butt end of every joke. Like even Georgia would just like talk all the like easiest smack ever, and then beat y'all in the team tournament every time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, nah, y'all got like the new breed came in and really preached like how to get better overall and started working with one another. And like y'all are a family. It's cool. So like big ups to y'all Midwest.
Midwest is phenomenal now compared to where they were. I remember in 2013, I think it was the battle royale at final round. I had like the flu and I was like dead on a couch, and they came and like woke me up, Yipes, and they like woke me up and they're like, "Yo, you gotta play in the 5v5," and I was like, "What do you mean? I'm last on the team," and they're like, "Yeah, they've already lost already." Like, it was like footwork and like 4 other people on Team Midwest, and they all got like smashed, and it was against Team Tri-State, and so I had to reverse OCV like Fublat and Alucard, Nerd Josh, like all these dudes, and now the Midwest is so way farther than I ever even got. Like Brandon and Kevin and like real innovators of this game, like Optimal, like option selects and movement and decision making, like complete amazing players. The Midwest
and, like,
has
honestly, too,
transformed.
And awesome players aren't just awesome because they are awesome. The scene and the family that y'all create, the relationships, how y'all share with one another. That's what really builds.
Hella travel,
what I mean?
dude. Hella
I think,
travel.
yeah, like I will. One of the things that this is why I personally think Midwest is they're in my top 3, and why I love those guys is like you guys don't have one big Midwest scene. You know, it's a lot of small collective scenes that have kind of banded together and support each other's events. Where like SoCal, you can just stay in SoCal and then you can get as many games in as you want. Same with New York, same with Florida, which is why those guys don't have to travel as much because they always had a community around them. But like the Midwest, they were a lot of smaller, like medium-sized or even tiny scenes that they had to travel in order to get games in.
Yeah, and making that commitment to travel and like spend resources just so you can play the game you want to play. Like you do that over a long enough time, you'll start to care about it and play it in like a different way.
Remy, like I drove to 2 weeklies a week for like 4 months. I went to every Louisville monthly, I went to every Cincinnati monthly at Arcade Legacy, and I saw everybody. And that is everybody's example. Like Remy would drive literally all the way up from Tennessee just to play a weekend with Static and Zay.
Like, you don't have to talk about the driving struggle. Like you know that. Like
absolutely.
I used to go to Atlanta, 3 weekends out of 4. 3 times a month. Just spend the entire weekend there chilling with the Steve. So.
Yeah, there's been a lot of breakout players who have like really put, as we're talking about in the chat, that have pushed the Midwest. So I'm just so proud of my boys. I love talking about them. Again, that wasn't on our official schedule for the night. I do want to talk about Trish. I want to talk about Trish a lot. I really like Trish. I watched a lot of Trish videos before we came on tonight. And we're talking.
Hang on.
Okay. What's that?
Raid. What's your 3? We didn't get later and let Jonas go.
Do I really have to say it?
Oh, yeah, Jonas? Yeah, absolutely, Jonas. You almost snuck out.
They make me do this.
Hey, little man.
I'm not the Merkel anymore. You're the Merkel.
Yeah, you're the Merkel hat, dude.
Figure it out.
Oh
yeah, gross.
This is the worst fate. This is the worst timeline.
What's your top 3?
Do it.
Yeah, not so easy, is it?
Say it for me,
Is
Chess.
it?
Southwest. No, sorry, SoCal. Southwest.
Who's 3rd?
Midwest.
Yeah!
So
So
Florida in your top 3.
Basically,
You make such a big deal out of it.
you made a big
And KP had the same top 3.
I'm not.
different
Florida
reverse.
can't be top 3 until they prove it. And like I pulled up the Evo top 16. There's only one Florida player here, which is Marvelo.
Yeah, I think well, we had the same order, Jonas. We just switched the first 2. I think Midwest made it on 4 out of 5. Tasif, did you say Midwest? No,
Yeah,
you did.
I honestly, I didn't, but like, I want to amend my statement a bit too.
Okay,
like,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that.
So
Okay.
like SoCal and Midwest were unanimous, right? Across all 5 of us.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So it would.
Like,
What's that, Jonas?
I'm using like this isn't like I'm not like using opinion because I'm like trying to like be as unbiased as possible. So I like most of the Evo top 16.
Screw that.
Evo.
That's not what this show's about.
Evo is the world stage. It's like most of this top 16 is SoCal, and then you got like Vegas because of Rhino V, and Jibril. I don't know where he is.
He's Seattle.
Seattle. Okay.
Wall Street, SoCal.
It's mostly SoCal and like Angelic Southwest and Midwest because of Bill Kevin. So there you go.
Fair enough. I will say shoutouts to old Bay 7. Mad good.
And
Mad
RIP
travel.
4-1 out for Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys.
4-1 out for Texas. Man, they used to be so tough. Ramasama was Louisiana, but he was always considered Texas.
He's honorable Texas.
And then Jan, of course.
Ramasama,
Donkey.
Donkey
back in the day. Rubex, yeah. Dang.
Stone.
Stone.
What is the top 3? What is the top 3 like funnest community though? Like the guys that you really like.
We're all top 3.
ATL
We're all
number
top
one.
3. We're all
I
great.
like Georgia, and then like Florida, and then Puerto Rico. That's my top 3.
I'll agree with Florida too.
Is Terry still
It's
playing?
It's like the nicer you are. This is like my theory. The nicer you are, the more you suck at Marvel.
Yeah, free. Is Terry still playing? Terry Bogard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's on the board.
this though, because he put Georgia first.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure.
Technically, Terry's not playing. But the like air quotes around that. He keeps.
Oh, so he's doing the emo thing. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well.
I don't think he was being emo. Like he came out and he was like, "Yeah, this is my last big. This is my big hurrah." He did the KP.
The KP. I stopped. I actually stopped. I was like, I'm tired.
Actually, he's trying to push to have a big exhibition. I think he wants to play Cloud at KIT. He's trying to set some kind of
Okay.
exhibition up at KIT. So,
All right. Shouts
yeah, I've seen
KIT
the
around the
last
corner.
Harry Potter.
All right. Well, sick. Yeah. So I think needless to say, it would be sick to see an event coming up soon that pushed the regional rivalries a little bit.
Those are the best tournaments.
Those
dude.
are
That's
good.
where the hype's at. Dude.
Those are really nasty, and maybe there's a market for that. Maybe there's not. I don't know. We'll see what comes up in the next few weeks. But what's that noise? Who's doing that?
Oh, sorry, I was like scratching something. I'm
Unbelievable.
noisy. I'm
Man,
sorry,
what's
dude.
the matter with you?
This MacBook's really frail. It's really noisy. I'm sorry.
You're out there filing your nails in the middle of a podcast. Unbelievable. But I want to talk about Trish. I want to talk about Trish because I think Trish is really compelling. I think I went back and watched a bunch of old Green Ace. I went back and watched RDK. I watched K-Brad, obviously, who's playing with Trish now. I want
That's
to.
Trish.
Best Trish? You think so?
I hate Trish and all Trish players.
Does anybody here like playing against Trish?
No.
I do.
Okay, Tassif, you like playing against Trish.
Well, you have jam session.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, that's true.
That's still one of Wolverine's worst matchups. Jam Session makes it playable, but like I like fighting her with Zero.
Okay, what do you think?
I think Mag Jam, like, I don't mind playing it, but I don't have fun. I think it's a really just kind of
It's an annoying
matchup,
matchup,
you know.
man. Like, I remember playing against Green Ace and feeling so helpless in so many situations. Does anybody think that there's a character that just bodies Trish?
Morgan.
Morgan. Okay.
Yeah.
See, now, I'm not terribly familiar with that matchup. I only saw what Chris G did to K-Brad in Grand Finals of Canada Cup, and it was brutal.
But
It
I
was
mean,
not
and
good.
that's somebody that's like hype about the game and still playing as much versus a guy that's just really good and is just kind of after his Evo win.
I think
and it was-
Dormammu.
I think Nova, and I think Modok could do really well against her too.
Dormammu and Strider.
Yeah, Nova's really strong. We don't have a lot of Novas anymore.
I don't know about Strider, dude. She has like, well, I don't know, like her traps are like as an assist call. I don't think she can body her because I feel like her air buttons hit above her head, and I feel like her traps. I think I've seen like her either her trap or her super doesn't it hit like slightly above her head when she's in the air. I know it does from behind.
And a lot of times, like, if you just block with the trap out, it'll just punish it for free. But that's if you have a trap out. And, like, if you get the trap to, like, trade with it, it gets soft knockdown, and you can do super OTG, and it does, like, all the damage to him. It's, like, pretty easy for her to actually snipe it if she plays neutral properly.
I like playing Phoenix Wright against Trish.
Really?
Seriously? You're a masochist.
Why?
You
Because
fucking
No.
call her-
Why?
It's really fun.
what's
It's
the
really
what's
fun
the point?
Because like Trish, all she does is like bullshit over in the air, and that's what Phoenix Wright wants. He doesn't want you to like get in. So I just call shield and like get the cell phone and just spam cell phone, and she can't do that. So if she tries to rush me down, I just do the hammer and.
That's like,
That's corny, but I respect
No,
that.
seriously,
That's a
no,
good
seriously.
strat. That's like
That's-
anti.
that's-
That's matchup though. That's
Yeah,
matchup.
that's-
like once
No, it's
anyone
like
knows
so
to
dis-
not run away from Phoenix Wright and just to dash in and throw your ass. I'm sorry.
Hearing-
throw you.
but then
I mean-
again, it's like so now I'm playing a rush down Trish, which is like
Rushdown Trish
Go.
is pretty gross. She has the fastest.
Yeah,
I
trident
can like
in the game.
spam papers, and she can't like dive kick on me because like papers
but
is
she
like
doesn't.
super
But
safe.
She doesn't
can
have to.
react to your paper and then just fly and then just like whip punish you. Like she has a lot of
dive-
options.
No, 'cause-
to
cause
like to beat you
Dive
with the
fly
move.
cancel is the most stupid thing in the world.
Dive kick, fly cancel. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
gross.
On reaction to neutral.
That like okay. So let's just do a quick rundown on some Trish tools. Dive kick, very good dive kick. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, and like a thing to know about it too is that since it hits like kind of early and it has forward momentum, if you push block it early, it doesn't do anything but just keep you there for longer. If you want to push block it to actually like do something, you have to push block really late. And
So-
then that way it actually gives you a little distance so that you don't get like completely mixed up.
Very strong.
I think that's what makes her as a character. Like,
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
would not, like, if she didn't have dive kick, she'd be straight up like a trap character. I think that's what makes her be able to switch between the two. I mean, she has fast plinking and everything, but the threat of the dive and the things that she can do after it are what makes her a character to me.
Yeah, she has the dive kick, and imagine if Wolverine could like flight cancel his dive kick and then like dive kick again or something, or like plink away. It's very powerful. She's got insanely good angled projectile from the top part of the screen.
I think
Can we talk about?
I think
Can we talk about-
angled projectile from super jump height. I think that's overrated. I don't think that's very.
Well, you can also trap, which is pretty good. I mean, like
Trap's
she
good.
just
Trap's good,
has
but I think
she has
I think
options.
like aside from Thunderbolt from Dante, because it's instant. I don't think, and like Doom Beam or Plasma, because screen coverage. But
I just don't know, like
that character.
low voltage from the air is bad. I don't like it.
What is her air normal, which is like I think it's 8 or medium, which is like the whole swing. That's so good. It's like Spencer. Like what
S is that jump S? You're talking about the one where she does the full.
Jump S, where she swings forward, down forward.
Oh,
No,
I
that's
think
jump
that's her
heavy. That's
jump
her
S,
jump
I think's
heavy.
her
Jump
foot.
flip kick. It's her flip kick. Yeah.
Nasty
No, and
button.
not- and don't-
She
and
also
jump light is super good to go in with. It's stupid. Like you can box
Doesn't
dash
it-
jump light. That was some stuff Green Ace would do, and it would catch a lot of people off. Like she has so many different ways to actually like approach you in the air. If you're not ready, you get hit.
But a
she
very
also do
poor.
the same kind of stuff like Iron Man with his fly cancel. Like there's really no reason for her, but she can do like air H, fly, unfly H, falling H stuff, and it's just so much screen coverage. Like she's got a lot of cool tools.
She was the original TAC Infinite.
Yep, the first.
Remember that? That broke right before what, Evo 2012, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 4 characters or no, maybe.
It was a couple months before because Sentinel had time to get his, and then everyone
Yeah,
win.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
broke.
like Frank's came out super early too, but Trish was definitely the first.
She basically, when that video dropped on YouTube, it was like, oh my god, this is insane. Everybody was like racing to practice and find the new ones, and of course Dooms was basically already halfway complete thanks to Marlon Pie. So yeah, she was the first one discovered. So she got complete TAC Infinite. Her assist game, a little suspect. It's like
It's good in certain
low,
matchups.
low
peekaboo.
voltage isn't bad.
Low volt, is that the projectile one?
Yeah,
Yep.
like it's surprising. It's got a decent amount of durability, and the hits pretty solid.
of my
And
favorite
it times pretty well with the character.
I love when K-Brad like calls the peekaboo assist and just like goes like full speed
Yeah.
and like crosses you like 10 times and then
Yeah.
you like and then you fall into it.
Yeah, that's like
Also-
a raw
also,
mix-up.
If you play low voltage, for whatever reason, low voltage with Doom THC is another one of those THC glitch massive damage things. It does as much as like the Dante Doom THC.
She's got
Like so many hitboxes are hitting, I think multiple times, and it just like chunk, and like all of a sudden 90% of your life's gone.
That's it.
she's a great point character. Pretty competent in the RDK gimmick. Was that Trish, Doom, Wesker, right? Or is it Wesker in the
Yeah, with the round harvest unblockable. Like
Right.
there were like multiple ways to set that up with
middle?
like,
A lot of ways. Highly meter efficient. So basically, you do a Trish combo, put him down on the ground, throw out the round harvest. Do you DHC into Wesker or do you hard tag? I don't honestly even know.
So usually with RDK, he would raw tag into Doom.
Okay.
It's better to confirm.
Oh, and he would do the gunshot with the box dash, right?
Yep.
So sets up the unblockable, highly meter positive. It's you have Trish with a Doom
actually,
assist.
it wasn't that meter positive. Like she only builds about like I think it was like 125 on an optimal combo,
Well,
and on 2 assists with 1 bar, she's still only doing like 890, 900. So she's still kind of weak as far as meter gain and damage, even on like the super optimal stuff that people are working on even now.
yeah, but with the tag out though, I mean that to a Doom, that's like, and specifically the case of RDK, like that was how he offset her weakness, was you circumvented the low
at the
damage.
that was in a meta when literally nobody else.
Yeah,
And that's such a
it's pretty gone now. Like, who's
Yeah.
doing that now? Who's doing the Trish
I always
gimmicks?
remember her as being the original like low damage good character, where it was like you had to build a team around her and like a damage engine. So like
Yeah.
in vanilla, she was always setting up a DHC glitch, I believe. From her to West, like it was like one of my original training partner. He ran Wesker, Dante, Trish, and he has so many ways to just set up the DHC glitch, and then even in I think it was Jago in early vanilla or early Ultimate, where he was going Trish with Wesker and basically setting up some type of stick unblockable, and then bringing in Dante, and like it was just like that. I think that was the original team, like trench coat or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And also, like, I love that Trish has the ability. We mentioned the tri-dash. We mentioned the box dash. Unfortunately, her throw game's not that great. It's pretty poor.
That's a big thing holding
She
her
can't
back.
throw any off of. She can't come off any of her throws, right?
Not natively. I think she can go into
Only super.
Well, if you
but
have
if you
Wesker
have-
assist, which is
if you
common on
have
this.
if you have jam session, you can actually do some pretty sick tick throw with jam session and get combos off of that.
Oh.
Renace did that.
That's right. I do
And
remember
of course,
that.
you could always do kind of like the Morgan thing with missile, and get the timings on the throws based on your pressure strings and get the combos there. So it was the same kind of Morgan thing.
But her combos are already pretty finicky. Like getting them to like hit, and like we talked about Spider-Man. Trish also has that similar problem where like it's always like uncertain.
She's not anywhere near as bad as Spider-Man.
No, but she does have some parts in like where you're not really sure where your hit stun's at, and like we see combos just pop out.
Yeah,
'Cause
she's very hard to confirm with. She doesn't have a lot of hit stun on her moves, so like everything's like very tight.
especially her lights and mediums, like very
Yeah.
soft. And her lights were like integral to her, a lot of her combos, her stand light, and so you see a lot of people pop out in situations where you really didn't understand why they popped out. I think her neutral's really sick. Traps are really cool, and like the comparison was drawn to the flame carpet. I think that's an awesome mechanic, but unfortunately, it's like a ground-based defense and like not really a ground-based. Is it a ground-based meta? I mean, like you see like Hager and Spencer and like Wolverine kind of fading out, and it's hard to like get that kind of like I don't know efficiency out of Trish anymore. There's not a lot of frustrating matchups that are like really easy for her. Merkel, you look like you're about to say something.
I think that her traps cover a pretty wide array. Like she definitely got hit with a nerf bat from vanilla into ultimate.
Did she? I honestly don't even know about that.
I want to say she used to be able to drop traps better in the air and get down safely. I don't
think
remember
it was the amount, but I think vanilla. I don't think her super OTG though.
Right. But I mean, like her neutral took a big from that change. But like there's only like Magneto and Iron Man are the only two characters that have horizontal air options. So the fact that she has a trap in front of her, she's going to plink back 2 or 3 times. Most people aren't fast enough to plink over it without getting hit, and plus she gets to get down if they start plinking forward. So, like, I think it's a full screen coverage on the traps. It's just not.
Are you gonna forget about MODOK like that though?
Well, okay. When we were talking about
does MODOK have from
Sonic Blaster?
I thought that only angled down from the air.
No, it goes across as well.
Heavy goes down forward, light and medium go across.
Yeah, you can mix it up. I want
Funny, like now that he mentions it, like is Trish like one of the only characters that has a safe way to like land in the air with like the traps?
Yeah,
Yeah, because we were talking about this with Chun-Li, remember? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you just catch when she's falling off, but like you can't really do that with Trish, you know?
Well, she has the dive kick, which is like really like dangerous if you're underneath it. Chun doesn't really have that.
It's hella safe because she has a trap and the dive kick. So
Right,
she's
yeah.
super safe going down.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
you
very
gotta
hard.
catch her going up.
Yeah,
plus,
you do.
Plus, she can like jump air dash and then go into plink and then like call an assist and plink forward or back twice to have the assist covering her too. So,
well,
Magneto gets the same thing.
She's really slippery, but if you're playing like a ground-based character, like I played Spencer, like I'm right underneath her when she's throwing a trap, so I'm already I've already blocked it. So she's at super jump height, throwing something that I'm already blocking. So she still has to come down into an assist. Like it just depends on how you play that matchup. If you're staying full screen and then you're trying to predict where she's gonna land off the dive kick, then you're gonna have a bad time.
So Arithmetic says flight got buffed, her ground chain got buffed, hopscotch can only be placed once in the air, maximum voltage OTGs. So yeah, you both are right. She traded off being able to do hopscotch multiple times for some better consistency. She also what was I just about to say? Oh yeah, since you were talking about plinks, Merkel, I'm gonna open this discussion with K-Brad, who Tassif immediately, was it you, Tassif, who said best Trish? Currently, definitely, that I would say is probably the case.
That's what I mean. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Currently.
What do we think about the Trish legacy? Whenever you think Trish, who's like your go-to Trish? Like, oh my god, that's this person's character.
That's Green Ace.
That's
Definitely.
Green Ace. That's Green Ace. Does
That's
anybody else
Green
think
Ace.
otherwise?
Quick question: which Green Ace team do you think of? Do you think of the Wesker Dante, or you think of the Doom?
I think of
Doom.
I think of both just because I've played against them so often. Like both of them. Like he'll switch it on me too because he likes Weasel Shot against Wolverine. It gets him a lot more offense. So like, man, it's tough. I think of them as both.
Shouts to Pink Lemonade, who plays the Trish, Shuma, and Dormammu, I think. Trish,
Doom.
Dormammu, Twitch Doom.
He's all over the place but he's like
He's a
Trish
tech
main,
monster. He's a tech
and then
monster.
he started switching to Virgil. But yeah, definitely he's his combo videos. He just released one that got front paged on Event Hub, this arcade. I don't remember which one.
It's nasty.
It's really cool. Lots of
Wolf Street,
Lots of
another
enemies.
Trish player that we haven't mentioned. Trish Phoenix Wright. Does any
log trap.
Log Trap? Yeah, that's right. Does anybody
They
think
who used to play Trish.
he did? He
Yeah.
absolutely did.
He doesn't play Phoenix Wright anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody disagree that Green Ace was the best Trish, or is the most famous Trish?
I think he's the most famous, but I still have a special place in my heart for Jago.
For
He's a player
Jago.
now.
Yo, but Jago was so good when he played. Like, man, I remember way back in late 2011. Back when Arthur was still like a gimmick that could get away with it, he had the punish the first time I ever played him. Full screen armor break with the Goddess Bracelet. He had the punish with Wesker, automatic. And this was like ages ago, and nobody else did that back then. So shout out to Jago. But what were you about to say, Merkel?
The chat mentioned Disgruntled Goa. I forgot about him, but
He was hella
Oh,
good.
Canada!
I like him better than. Now that they've mentioned it, I'm kind of sad I forgot about him. But
Same.
I think he was better, but he was more short-lived.
You think he was better than Green Ace?
I think so. In the prime.
I'll say that like Green Ace probably had like more tech. He was a more technical player, but like Goa was very efficient. I felt like just in every aspect of his play. Like I didn't really find like a lot wrong with him at all. And for like him to just be in Canada was like a really big surprise. There was that one tournament where he got like second or something.
Yeah, Goa
he played ridiculous.
He was a monster. He was a
Yeah.
monster. Insanely solid too, and that carried him really far. In addition to his character choice, so his characters really matched the way that he played. I love watching K-Brad play, and I've played him twice in tournament. He's beat me both times in tournament. From very in the same way I Heart Justice did it or lost. I went up on him really early, and then he stuck to it. I actually got him. I was up 2-0. I was playing my Wolverine team, and I got him all the way down to. I snapped in Virgil, killed Trish, got him down to his Anchor Dante, and he came back on me with the Anchor Dante, and then won 2 more in a row. So K-Brad, an incredibly good player in his own right. I think it's a crime to say that Green Ace is like way better than K-Brad because
not at all. Yeah,
K-Brad is nasty.
K-Brad's not good.
What do you think? Who's got the best Trish team?
I'll say.
Was it Doom Dante or was it Doom Virgil?
I think if we're talking about all the tech that exists, probably Trish Doom Dante.
Trish Doom Dante.
Or Trish Dante Doom. I don't know.
I think Trish put Doom Dante on the map as far as like the capabilities of that team between Goa and Green Ace.
I like K-Brad's team a lot.
I like K-Brad's team
I
the most
think
too.
it's a more of a team, whereas the other team is a Trish team. You know what I mean? Like DMC, like really is interchangeable, and that's the cool part about K-Brad too. Is like I'm thinking about it, like when you were saying like what anchor you have to face, I'm like, man, it could be his Trish, it could be his Virgil, it could be his Dante. All 3 of those characters can mess you up.
I hate X Factor 3 Trish.
It's a nightmare, dude.
Yeah, I lose to that all the time. Man.
It's such a bizarre thing to deal with. What's up, Jonas?
There's this guy in Puerto Rico. It's called Mascotita. He used to play. I'm not even kidding you. He used to play Akuma, Spencer, Trish, right?
Nasty.
So
Okay, sure.
This is what he would do. Like he would lose with Akuma, Spencer,
And then go ham. and then just go hammocks with the 3.
There's this one combo with X Factor 3 Trish that he would like. It was like dive kick, jump, dive kick, jump, dive kick, and he would kill you like that. I
An
was like,
infinite, a jump dive kick
What?
infinite.
yeah, it was like a dive kick infinite. I was like, that is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, why are you so bad?
Why are you so bad? Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think Trish is pretty multi-purposeful. Like, I think that's an advantage of hers. I do love seeing what happens when Trish has got her back against the wall, because a lot of times she is subject to snaps, for Virgil or whatever. But what Angelic said, technically Goa or K-Brad are the most accomplished in terms of results, but I think Green Ace was the most loved and put on the best Trish show. I mean, we all remember him versus PR Balrog. That was insanely
I
sick.
think more importantly is Green Ace put on the best face show.
Yeah. God, he was an ugly little boy. When he played, when he played Marvel, he was like, I don't know, he was something else. But
don't do it.
he was
I
like,
think he's become like, I think he's become like the Luke Skywalker of like the Florida scene, because he still wants to play.
yeah, but
He still plays. He still wants
Best
to play.
gamer face, hands down.
I don't know. DJ Hoshin was pretty bad too. While we're talking about gamer face, I don't know.
No, okay. Yeah, it'd probably be for me. It's Green Ace, Eddie Move, too much damage, and then.
Oh man.
Oh,
the
too
Wolf
much
Factor-
damage.
Eddie Boo's the best.
Yeah, Eddie Moo had a bad. Oh god. Shout outs to Eddie. Shout outs to everybody still playing the game. We're hitting our 10:30 mark, so I'm about ready to wrap up for the evening. If we said everything that we want to for the night, did anybody have any last minute shout outs they wanted to get out before we wrapped up for the evening? Tasif, anything? Anybody you want to shout out?
Shout outs to the Georgia scene. They just recently made a Facebook chat of all the Georgia players, and I've been talking to them and catching
I'm mad
up.
that you're allowed there, but I'm not allowed.
I
I'm
made
more
the
likely
group,
to go
damn
over
it!
He made the group.
No, all these people are like, yeah, no, I'm
I
around
made
there,
the group.
and they're like, no, sorry, this is just for people that are actually going to show up and play. And then you're in there, I'm going to show up and play before you show up and play.
I know, I get it, I know, but I made the group. So
Well,
Legacy.
I respect that. I respect that. Merkel, any shout outs, my friend?
I mean, shout outs to everyone that sticks with the show, sticks with the game, shows up at tournaments, tries to play online. I am going to do one for anyone that happens to watch this late. If you play Street Fighter and you know the mechanics of pushback, hit me up, please. I'm
He's
trying to,
desperate. He's desperate.
I'm no, I'm serious. I'm blanketing everything. And I'm talking not just the generic stuff, but really, really deep down game data. Here's what this move actually says for pushback. I need some help understanding that. So that's my non Marvel thing for the night.
Hit him up, boys and girls. Marcus, any shout outs tonight?
I mean, shout outs to everybody that goes to tournaments and registers. Shout outs to people that bring setups to tournaments, and shout outs to you guys.
Shout outs KIT.
Shout outs to the gang.
Shout outs to you guys.
Jonas, any shout outs, my friend?
Shout outs to Aeonian. and
Yeah.
Hey, Onion, hell yeah!
Shout outs to Frank Lotion.
Yo,
Shouts to Frank Lotion.
I love Frank Lotion. Yo, what's up? I love him. Yeah.
Frank Lotion 6969 was in the chat earlier, so shout outs to that.
I love playing that.
Shout outs to Canada, Ontario, Toronto, and Mississauga. Shout outs to all of those places.
Shout outs to everyone that pre-regs. Absolutely, Dual Kevin. Remember, guys, we will not be back for another show in November. Oh, shout outs to my new dog. Shout outs to my new dog. Here's a picture.
Y'all got a new dog too.
Look at that. Can you see him?
Man, all these people get new dogs. Y'all could have had my dog.
Shout outs to new dog. He's a good guy.
Shouts to pets.
Shout outs to pets. Shout outs to Pepperinos. But yeah, we will not be back for another show in November. So that means, what is it? First Tuesday, the 6th. December the 6th, we'll be back. And we'll have a lot to talk about then. NEC's in December. What else is in December off the top of my head? Anybody want to help me out while I'm driving here? Christmas is in December. We'll talk about Christmas.
A Marvel 4 announcement.
Okay.
We completely glossed over that.
Well, that's for the best. That's for the best.
I don't know that.
We don't.
Just keep it hype.
We don't need to do this. Okay, Yoga Flame. We'll just do this super quickly. Yoga Flame mysteriously tweets out that oh, there's a Marvel 4, it's coming. It's for sure happening. Early testing starts next year. Can we just say that we're over this?
Can we just say why is the Street Fighter guy gets to release that information and not the Marvel people?
I know, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense, and it's very, very tinfoil hat. But choose to believe it if you like.
Maybe Santa will make this happen.
Yeah, maybe he's talking about Santa.
Let's all be good boys and girls.
I heard Jonas has a inside source at Santa's workshop that the elves are currently insider information that they're currently putting together Marvel 4. Next NEC major or next major is definitely NEC, so go to that if you can.
NEC.
What's up, Jonas? What's up, Jonas? Do you have something to say, or are you just being a twerp?
That was Steve.
Okay, well, anyways, yeah, definitely go to NEC, which will probably be streamed by Spooky. I'm not sure what else is going on, but
and pre-reg early for KIT.
Pre-reg early for KIT. First weekend of January, I believe, right? Or second weekend, I'm not sure, but it's
I'll have to double check. I did one of those.
It's coming up soon. We'll have some more to talk about. Welcome, Super Noon. Thanks for showing up right at the end of the show. Everybody, thank you for watching. It's been a great night here at Marvel Live. Like I said, we will not be back for the rest of November, so we will see you guys back in December. Please enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday.
Holiday. Eat that turkey.
Dang it, it came out right at the end. Have a good night, guys. Thank you. See you on the 6th.
Shout out to Marvel 4.